Hi, and welcome to MultifamilyGeeks.com. We want to sponsor your first or next deal. In this video should be pretty simple. We're going to download one of our underwriting templates that's for free for you. It's at the bottom of the page. Just scroll down to the bottom of the Multifamily Geeks page and find some links down here. It may look a little bit different than this when you finally get to it. It's always constantly changing. But right here it says Multifamily Geeks Portfolio Trainer Underwriting Template Download. If you click on this, it actually opens up the trainer. And then what you want to do to save it to your drive, give it a second to load here. All right, there we go. Is say File, Download, and download it as an Excel version, Microsoft Excel. Right, that's the safest, most stable. Right, there it is down there. Now it's down in my folders. If I open up folders and come back around to downloads, it'll show up right here, MFG Portfolio Trainer, and now I can upload it to my different drives for use. So to give you an idea of this, let's go to one here where we've already used it. It shows up right here, MFG Portfolio Trainer. This is a beta version 2.0. The current one I just downloaded is a 2.2. So what I'm going to do is say New, File, Upload. And this is a shared Google Drive we use with a lot of our underwriting students. I'm going to upload the current version. And we do update it almost daily, you guys. So just downloading a new one before you use it is probably the simplest. I wouldn't even copy over the old one that's already in this folder. I'd just go ahead and download a new one. So here it is, 00 Portfolio. Now I'm going to rename it. Let's call it 04 so it kind of shows up in order for me. I like to see it show up in order. Let's get rid of some of this because I uploaded it into a Google Drive, which is now going to change it to a Google Sheets, and I realize there's some functionality lost, but we've tried to use only the formulas that match well, and they're pretty simple formulas in these templates. This is not one with, this one doesn't even have an IRR calculation. Very simple, all right? So we're going to call it explanation video. Okay. There we go. It's number 4. So it's right here now. So when we open this up, excuse me. You know, this is a very simple underwriting template. We call it a trainer because it's perfect for students who are new to underwriting multifamily properties, but it'll handle all of the big properties too, right? We like 200 to 300 units. It'll do fine at that. In addition, if you look down here at the bottom, it's got property 1, property 2, property 3, property 4, property 5, and then a combined underwriting template. So what it will do is allow you to underwrite 1 property and 2 property and 3 up to 5 properties in a portfolio and then roll them all up into a combined underwriting template. We're going to demonstrate a little bit of that right now. Let's go back to, this is a 2 property folder we've got set up right here. Here's one property. We're going to look for the T12s. So it looks like here's T12 of one property, and here's a T12 of the other. So let's open these and see what they look like. This is direct from the broker. By the way, if they're not in Excel format, just don't even bother. Call that broker back up and say, will you please, please, please give me a T12 and rent roll in an Excel format, right? Because if you're going to try to convert this from a PDF, for example, oh boy, you just added some time onto your underwriting, and it's not necessary. All brokers can get these documents in the right format, which is Excel format. All right, so this is the one they gave us. I'm going to go up here to this gray square in between A1 cells right here. Right to the left of it is a gray square. It's the all square. You just click it and the entire spreadsheet becomes highlighted. You don't have to drag or anything. You click it once, right click here, and it highlights everything. Now I'm going to say copy. So I'm copying the T12 into the clipboard of the computer or device. I'm going to go back to my property 1, and I'm going to add a tab in here. And this is the way I like to do it. I'm going to rename this tab, Property 1. Property 1 T12. There we go. So I've got property 1 tab, that's the underwriting. I got property 1 T12, and right here in this A1 cell, I'm now going to say, right click, paste. And I understand your issue with Google Sheets. I miss the old Google Excel, but I got to be honest with you, the collaboration capacity of a Google Sheets is so much more important than the old speed of the Excel that we have moved everything over to Google Sheets. We underwrite in teams. We'll get 5 people on the phone at the same time. We'll just open up the document. We can all be in it working at the same time. So here it is pasted in. And so you saw it took 30 seconds or so for that to load in. Don't panic. This is in Calibri. That's fine. I don't really need this, but sometimes I want to see it in Arial. Oh, the first thing I want to do is do Control \. It'll remove all of the formatting, and that'll put it into the default font. I like a smaller font. I like 8 because I want to see as much of my screen as I can. And then I don't like these zeros. See how this is $74,478.83. You guys, I just want to round that up to the nearest dollar. That's ridiculous. So let's get rid of those. Okay, so I took those decimal places out. Now the next thing I like to do is insert, let's do this. All right, so now I like to insert 3 columns in here. So I'm going to say right click, insert 3 left. That puts 3 columns in. I then like to take all of my monthly columns and shrink these down like this. Then I want to take my total column. I want to cut that and paste it right here into B. That's one of the columns I made. What's the effect of this? The effect is now I can rearrange these column sizes, and all of the names of the different accounts now show up right next to the number. You know, before my eye had to scan across this page and go all the way over to the right. The other thing I always like to do, you guys, and I'll tell you why. I like to count the months. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 months. Good, it's a T12. I kid you not, one time I underwrote a property. It had 13 months in there. And I started to get very excited because I was thinking that it was 12 months and it was 13 and the numbers looked really good. And no wonder I had an extra month in there. All right, so I just count them. It's just an old habit to try to make sure and check. I know it says March and it says February. That's good, but I physically want to count those columns too. Next thing I like to do is insert some checkboxes. So go up to Insert menu, down to Checkbox, and it'll drop in a checkbox that you can check when you're done. I love those, and what I like to do is start to look through this thing and go, okay, rental income, copy. I'm going to see some vacancy loss right here. Wow, that looks really small. I'm worried already about vacancy on this property. Okay, somebody's not telling me everything. Effective rental income, I want to go here. And I'm putting these checkboxes in because I'm going to return to these and start to look at these further. Now, this is additional income. I'm going to put a checkbox here. And I'm going to scan through this because a lot of times in additional income, sewer income, that might be a RUBS program, but that's so small I'm probably going to neglect it. Let's see any large transactions here. Admin fee. Here, this one is not. That's big. So pest control income, water income. I'm going to highlight this because what they've really done is they've put RUBS in right here. So I want to put a checkbox here. I'm going to separate that out, that RUBS. I want to track that because I need to know how much that is. So gross operating income, I'm going to check that number on my spreadsheet. Now, what have we got here? Real estate tax. This looks like property taxes, property insurance, property management. This one's pretty clean so far. Payroll, let's take the total amount. I'll show you what I'm going to do in a minute. Let's see, this looks like maintenance and repairs. Sewer, water, utilities. Haha, good. So far they're being very nice to me. These all look pretty clean. This looks like admin expenses. It can get a lot rougher than this, but this is great for an example. Total marketing, good. We'll check operating expenses. We want to make sure our model matches theirs. When it comes to the seller's numbers, I want to see the net operating income. I want to make sure I match that. Escrow accounts, reserve income. They take reserve, put it in and out. I'm going to keep mine in, so my numbers are going to start to be different than theirs here. I do want to kind of look at, they have interest and principal. I might want to go ahead and put this in. I might say this equals principal and interest. I might model theirs to make sure my numbers are kind of looking at. I want to see what their returns are right now. 266 is P&I for them right now. Debt service. Oh, duh, it's right there, you guys. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this and just put one checkbox here. I went through a lot of work. I didn't need to. They already added it for me. And my net income I'd like to see, but that's after their service. And what the heck? Let's check up on that. All right, let's see how income goes. Let's start with 912,614. Now, because I made my own tab and I'm not manipulating the original document, I'm just manipulating the one that I have, right? So if other people are sharing this folder, they don't go find a messed up T12. They still have the original one to cut and paste themselves and use. So that's just good etiquette, right? But I've got them on tab, so I can quickly go back and forth. So 912,614, I'm going to start with that right here. 912,614. All right, now I see there's some other things missing on here, so let me open up here's the offering memorandum. This one is called Tanglewood. 2 properties in a portfolio. Okay. Let's scroll down. A lot of times they'll give a side-by-side presentation here. Okay, a little bit laggy. So 274, that's a combined. I'm looking for just Tanglewood. So let's see if I can now, it's finally loaded a little bit. Here's the page I want. Come on, load up. There we go. So let's look at Tanglewood. Tanglewood here is 159, and it's 87,309 square feet. Okay, did I get those right? I'm going to close out the old original and keep this one 159, 87,309, 87,309, 159. Good. Today's date. I won't put the year because you could be watching this later. What the heck? Let's put the year. Let's call this Tanglewood. All right. I might like to, for example, a lot of times I need to know the address because I'm going to look this up on my other software, my maps and different things where I can start to check the class of the property. So, not cooperating too well with me right now. I'm having trouble. Hey, wow, I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's a lagginess. But normally I can even highlight on a PDF. That one's acting a little bit strange right now. Start to put this in. This one is in Warner Robins, Georgia. Sometimes the all caps bugs me. Getting a little bit nitpicky here. But you know how it is when you underwrite. You like certain things a certain way. All right. Purchase price. I do know the price of this one. It's about this. It's about 50 a door. Actually, Tanglewood. Yeah, maybe 50 a door. I think they want 60 a door, but I think it actually might be worth 40 a door. I don't really like this property. I have underwritten it before, so that's, let's see. This is a rough underwriting, and right now, given our times with vacancy, this has got physical and economic rolled into one. On our more elaborate spreadsheet, right? Our more elaborate spreadsheet looks like this. Okay, sure I can give you a view somewhere here. Here's our more elaborate spreadsheet where we'll analyze, the multi-year and the pro forma. I'll give you a copy of that later, and you'll be able to download a version of this at some point. I just need to clean it up a little bit for you. You know, when you use spreadsheets yourself, they get a little bit messy. So let me clean that up first, and then I'll give you a copy to download on the website. So let's go back and look at vacancy. Here is, we've got this number, so 912,614 we got. Vacancy loss 2510. I am not happy with this at all. There's no way that's their vacancy. So I'm going to put it in 2510, but I'm not happy with that at all. Somebody is not telling me everything right here. Anyway, I've got it. They've got some concessions rolled in here, and then some additional income. This is interesting. Concessions look like 6326. So 6326. What am I missing though? Let's see. So we get 903,778, and I know something's missing there because it's 922. They've actually got some additional income, HUD income. It looks like they might be actually being reimbursed for some of their COVID economic vacancy. Could be what's happening here, and or just I probably wouldn't put HUD income in here, but it looks like it's bumping up the original amount. So I might go ahead and just say this one plus this one. Let's just give them a new gross scheduled rent. We'll create our own 926,573. So let's revise this. 926, what did I say? 573. Can't concentrate. 926,573. I can concentrate. And I'll give copy. We'll check this one off too. Now we're taking into account all three of these things. Now, do we have the 922,757? No, we have 917. So we've got a higher number here. So interestingly enough, they have a negative number in for concessions, which bumps up this number. So this is a little bit wonky. I'm not happy with this at all. This bumps it up to 926. Let's just check this really quickly. Equals sum of these numbers. Does this equal this or not? Yeah, it does. So this is going up. This is going up some more. And this is going down. Ugh. So their vacancy loss is a positive 2? Oh, man. So this is a negative number for me because mine subtracts it. So I have to subtract a subtraction. 2 negatives equal a positive, right? And sure enough, look, 922,757. Fine, you guys. Sometimes when you're underwriting, you're trying to figure out what they're doing, and I don't know a bit right now, right? And down under some of your questions, you're going, where is vacancy? Question mark. If I'm adding together economic and physical vacancy, I better see 10% in these COVID days, right? So I better see a giant chunk of money in there, and I don't right now. So that's definitely a follow-up question. And it makes me question the veracity of this T12, right? Did they just type up this T12? Is this a modified, or we would call it an adjusted T12, right? Has this been adjusted? I'm starting to get worried about that, but let's move on for the sake of this training video, right? Because we're trying to fill out the underwriting template with the data they give us, and it always gets a little bit murky as we go through here. So let's jump down to water income, 33,435. 33,435. And as I click back each time, I sort of check it, 33,435. Now there's other income in here. See how it's 89,000? But I've already taken 33 of that. So I want to know that number netted out the 33. So I'm going to say the 33,435. So I'm going to say this number minus this number should give me the remainder of the other income, 56,182. Okay. And I should match up now at effective gross income of $1,012,374. $1,012,374. Check and check. See it right there? $1,000,000. Let's highlight it. Because that's what you're doing. This is the seller's column. I want to know what they model the numbers as, right? And I'm going to ask questions once I get to our column. I'm going to start to ask, do I believe it or not? And I'm either going to use their numbers or I'm going to use my own. If I don't believe them or I don't trust them or I don't think I can get those numbers, I'm going to put mine in. So real estate taxes are 88,433. $88,433, got it. Property insurance is $53,891. $53,891. Property management fee, $40,442. $40,442. Notice the percentage, it's 4%, so I'm going to model it maybe at 4.5. I'll see how that goes. I want to type in the seller's numbers based upon what they've got and see the percentages and the per unit. When I get to my column over here, I'm going to go by per unit and see what I get. Because I'm not going to, just because they say they can get insurance at $339, I'd probably rather go to $350, you guys. It's my more common number. And maybe I can't get, maybe their brother's an insurance agent, right? And I can't get that number. All right, so, all right, we're still looking for some numbers here. Let's go back. Property management fee, $40,442, check. Payroll, here we go, $170,401. Payroll, $170,441. Go back and check. $170,401, honey. $170,401. There we go. Yeah, and my brain just gets distracted and I just start making up numbers. Repairs and maintenance, $70,753. And mine are kind of in their order, but you guys, that never works out. Everybody just comes up with some order, so don't panic. This is utilities, $82,124. $82,124. This looks like admin, $17,821. All right, $17,821, got it. This looks like marketing, $69,12. All right, operating expenses, they've got $530,776. $530,777, that's a rounding error, I'm going to call it, you guys, or I put one in wrong, but I'm within $1. That's fine for me. It does not have to be exact. Net operating, $481,597. $481,597, see it? There we go. We are on track. Because this is modeling the seller's numbers, I want to see what they got. All right, now down here, this I don't get. I don't like that they take out a number for cap X reserves and then put it back in. Don't know why that's happening. Interest and principal is right here, $266,391. I'm going to drop it in here, $266,391. This models their numbers, right? They're getting a 4% cash on cash, best I can tell right now. Not very good. Not what an investor wants to see. Let's check this off, 266,391, and net income 207,891. Well, I'm taking out the reserves. So fine, they have 207, I have 167 because I took out 47 in reserves. All right, but pretty much, so they might be getting a slightly higher return because they're not, you know, I need to take that money out and put it away and not count it. They can afford to count it, right? That's their option. All right, that's the seller's numbers right now. And as we glance back, so I'm going to put a check on this. As we glance back through, we've checked everything. This is a processing of the T12, right? Let's go back just while we're here. And let's start to ask some other questions. Tanglewood, you know, the broker's always going to say to you, look, average effective rent. Let's see what else we can pull from this quickly. I know what we should pull. First of all, do you know you can search a PDF? Just do Control F for find. Let's do taxes. Okay, it's not popping up. Not a good sign. How about tax? Hmm. 462. Okay, my search feature is not working. Maybe it's a loading issue. Tax. All right. Well, this is a little bit more complicated because there's two properties, but basically speaking, they're telling us that if we put in a $3,500 CapEx, which I doubt it, you guys, nothing, 3,500 does not buy much, then we can get a $100 raise in rent. Okay, let's just assume they're right. And we would obviously question that because you always want to doubt those numbers. If that's true, we're going to go over here to our gross potential rent, and we're going to say the number of units times $100, and that's going to give us 1,117,000. This becomes our GPR, gross potential rent, calculated up here by this formula going on here. It's the number of units times $100 times 12 plus what their scheduled rent, right? So this is a pretty good GPR. It's not bad. And then we're going to go down and say they said we had to put 3,500 per unit in, so let's put 3,500 here. We're going to need to raise in our CapEx 556,500. We also need some things in here like 12 months of P&I. It's a 35% down agency loan, and at 4.25, let's make it 4.0 right now. By the time you watch this, that'll all be different, you guys. Don't panic. Just stick with it. I need a healthy 5% AC fee in there if I can get it. And what you do is pad this a lot of times, so even though you can't get it eventually, at least you've got some money in there to take out when you need to make the deal work. Okay. I do need to find taxes. That is the critical issue. Let's keep going. That's where I was headed when I stopped off at the GPR. And normally my search feature works. If my search feature works, we can just go straight down and find the taxes straight away. Okay. So now I got to actually do the old-fashioned method of searching. But you can search a PDF. I promise you can. And I do on a regular basis. All right, the area is great. Atlanta, Georgia is wonderful. Yes, there's growth going on. It is an emerging market, and as long as we can get in the path of progress, we're going to do fine. Plenty of comparables. Okay, financial analysis. Let's find that first property, Tanglewood. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Tanglewood. Let's go down to the fine print. There we go. All right, payroll. Here's property taxes. So I would have found this a lot quicker. Here's a mill rate, and here's a percent. So it's 40% of the purchase price, and it's going to be a mill rate of 33,212. So go 40% here. That's already that way, and put 0.033212. Boom. We're going to pay 106,000. Let's go back and check real quick because sometimes I get lost in my numbers. 33,212. You move the decimal 3 places because it's a mill rate. 1, 2, 3 would be 0.033,212. 0.033,212. Good. And 40%. Good. And that's calculating right there for property taxes. I'm comfortable with that. 55,000 here I've got for insurance. That matches theirs. Happy. Payroll 170, I got 159. It is 159 units. That could be problematic, but I'm going to leave it where it is for the moment. Repairs and maintenance they've got in there, which is 450, pretty good. But they don't have any make-readies, you guys. I don't trust that. You're going to need make-readies in addition to repair and maintenance. We know these numbers are true, especially on the age of this property. I think this one they said was back from, can I find it quickly? It's an older property, you guys. I promise you, you're going to have make-readies. There's no way not. All right, so we don't want to get in there and not have that money set aside. So we're going to set aside $200 per door for make-readies. General admin, we're a little bit higher than theirs. They got 112. They should be around 250. I think they're low. I've got 4.5% on management. That's one of the plays. Don't match their property management number and then tell me you're going to do a property management play. You better have enough money in there to cover that. All right, so that might be a little bit high, but let's leave it for the moment. I'm going to match their utility costs. Marketing 100 per door. Notice there's half that, 43 per door. Could be a problem. Maybe why they can't, fill the place up. Could be. Contract services, I don't see any contract services in their numbers. That's weird. Again, you're going to need, they must have it buried somewhere. All right, how about pest control, landscaping, and security? Go back here, do a search. Pest. Where are you? There you are. Wait, pest control income. No, I need pest control expense. Here we go. So they do have $4,300, and it looks like they've buried their contract services in repairs and maintenance. I see grounds maintenance, pest control. All right, so they've kind of convoluted some of these expenses. Materials. I don't know what materials are for repairs and maintenance. That's pretty vague. Well, so this looks like what, $13,000 or something, right? This equals this plus this. We've got, how much do we have buried up here? We've got $14,000 buried here. I tell you what we'll do. Because we have contract services, let's reduce our contract services by $14,000. Minus 14, 1, 2, 3. There you go. So now I'm only going to put in $49,000 for contract services, but they've got to have other things. That's not enough for landscaping. You might C-class property. You're going to have security. Put it in there. All right. So what do we get? 658,425 is our number minus our GPR up here. Now notice we went hard at the vacancy. I took out 10% for physical and economic, and I took out 5 for concessions. It actually might be, this is probably 11 up here, and this is probably 2 or 3. All right, I don't know, but I've got something going in here, and I don't know what it is. Okay, so I'm at 380, 470. Now this template's very simple to let you do P&I right now. The P&I on this loan is 297. We can do interest only at 208. So we can go ahead and say interest only here, and it drops in the 208 number from right here on the debt. Right? So let's do interest only. Fine. 125 before taxes. It's a 2.7 cash on cash. Probably not good enough. And even if I start to adjust prices, what's hitting us is this whole vacancy issue. And where's the vacancy right now? I probably have more. This probably interior upgrades of 3,500. I doubt it, you guys. It's probably double that by the time you get in. By the time you get in the weeds, it's probably 7,000 to do some of these units when we start to do the physical inspection. Exterior, I haven't put anything in yet for parking lots, for painting the exterior, for maintaining the walkways. You know how the metal walkways are all rusted, and you get in there and start to look at it, and you go, this isn't going to do. All right, so anyway, but that is basically what I wanted to show you, was bringing in the T12 as a tab on your model, modifying it so that it's easy for you to check off and complete, and then filling out your underwriting template in a basic fashion. This is a pretty good first run at underwriting, and I'm not sure how long it's taken us, but it's not that long, right? I got my find, the reason this is showing up is my find features on. Turn that off, and there it disappears. Okay. And this would be if there were 2 properties on, I would do the exact same thing for property 2. I'd put a tab here, drop in its T12, modify it, fill out the property 2. And this underwriting template has a combined tab. It'll just add them up for you. See how it's already got the first property in there? It'll add up the second property too, all the way up to 5 properties. Well, so this is Max with MultifamilyGeeks. You guys, I hope this helps. Go back to the website, right? Go ahead and sign up for our newsletter / scroll down to the bottom. You can read about us. Don't forget our 5 core values. We are serious about this. Team player, humbly confident, do what we say, do what's right, and continually growing. We are human, but those are the foundational core values that we try to live by and try to go back to on a regular basis. And then as far as that goes, down here you will also find investment criteria and underwriting standards. Okay, that's where we have our rules of thumb, and investment criteria is kind of what we're looking for. All right, so I hope this helps, and I appreciate you listening. Give us a call or text, and send me your property